Yo, YouTube, what is going on? AJ here, back at it again with another video. And in today's video, guys, we have some exciting news for you guys that I want to talk about for the Wuthering Waves community. And I feel like it's important. I have 3 tabs that I want to go over with you guys. And I think if you're a Wuthering Waves player, if you're a Wuthering Waves fan, whether you're day one, whether you're a veteran, or whether you're somebody who's new and coming from the console side, or just even trying it out on your phone or PC, I have some exciting news to share with you guys, not only about Wuthering Waves currently and what they've achieved, as well as what is going to happen in the future and how things have transpired. And this is some exciting stuff to really just talk about as a community, and I wanted to share this with my community and the Wuthering Waves community with this game if you guys are enjoying playing it. But first and foremost, before we get into this, if you like the content on the channel, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for the support. I'm trying to be one of the top gacha creators in the space. Thank you guys for keeping the lights on this channel. Without further ado, let's get into it. So Narushio, who's a credible Wuthering Waves creator and stuff like that, and posts a lot on Twitter and, you know, does stuff. He has a YouTube channel as well. They have a YouTube channel, excuse me. I'm not sure if it's a man or a woman, but they posted this tweet recently, and I want to go over this. It says, Wuthering Waves earned Gold Hall of Fame on the launch of PS5 version on the Famitsu website with the score of 34, which is very high. A Gold Hall of Fame rating from Famitsu JP is considered extremely high and signifies a game that is critically acclaimed, highly regarded by Japanese gamers. And this often is seen as a classic and must-play title within the region. Now, before we continue on and somebody's like, oh, is this just JP? I'm going to talk about the other stuff with global and how, like, just everything that's happening with Wuthering Waves, how it affects global or wherever you are in the world. But I want to just cover this part first and then explain the other tabs for a second. A must-play title within the region, essentially, it's the highest level of recognition a game can receive from the publication. About Famitsu, Famitsu is widely considered a reputable source for Japanese video game reviews, making their Gold Hall of Fame particularly meaningful. Now, guys, I want to talk to you guys something really quick and stay on this. First off, Wuthering Waves has received another reward, and it's finally for the console launch. Now, I was somebody who played Wuthering Waves on my PC. I've never played it on mobile. Now I uninstalled Wuthering Waves from my PC because I only play it on the console, and I've actually enjoyed just relaxing, playing it wirelessly on the controller, you know what I mean, on my PlayStation. It's been a great time for me and a great experience. Now, one thing I want to talk about is WUWA keeps changing the mold for these games, and it's crazy to think that now they've gotten here, and it's important. And before I go to the next slide, it's that their console launch is successful. There is a mass bunch of new players who are coming just from the console side who want to play, forget the gacha aspect, right? Just an anime sort of RPG game, you know what I mean? And this game delivers on combat, 2.0 storytelling, and music is phenomenal, traversal is phenomenal, and it's also the fact of the future. I want to talk about the future and go to the next slide, right? But I just want to say the fact that they nailed the console launch is amazing. Excuse me, guys, apologize for all the ads right here. But then, if you guys remember that the Game Rant thing that we had talked about, the interview, and you can not only find this on Game Rant, a bunch of other websites have covered this news on Twitter. I believe Narushio had something up about it, and even Tectone talked about this and confirmed this as well. In an interview with WebZine, the CEO of Kuro Game Salon, if you remember, we had covered this in a previous video, the team plans to release a major update every 6 months. And I want to talk about the next slide as well, or the next tab that I have, is because what I think is happening with Wuthering Waves now, and I want to explain this as a community, is when 1.0 and 1.4 came out, it felt like there were some rough patches. It felt like there was a little bit of just time that kinda, you felt the clunkiness and the bugs a little bit. You felt that the story was kind of in the beginning towards until the end, and then we got 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3, right? And I had said before in past videos, it felt like WUWA was playing catch up. It felt like the Kuro devs were playing catch-up and stuff like that. And now when we look at what's happened with 2.0, the accolades and stuff like that, I think when 1.4 had ended and they were catching up and you heard rumors that they were going into 1. Like when we were in 1.2 or 1.1, they were doing beta testing for 1.3, if I remember that news correctly, right? And they were working so hard to get ahead that now it's full sprint mode. I think they have a plan. Then we have the other news, if you remember back then, that people were concerned about, with Tencent acquiring major stake in Wuthering Waves, and basically they can have say and dictate certain things. Tencent has acquired basically majority stake in another game too. It's called League of Legends, pretty much, right guys? Everybody's heard of it too. But League was fairly priced with their skins. Now recently they've been doing something like a little strange and crazy, but the reason why I'm talking about Tencent right now, it does not have to do with Wuthering Waves skins or anything like that. What it really has to do is, I think what's happening with Kuro is something special. They're changing the mold of the gacha genre because their pity system, there's still 50-50s in the game, guys. You can lose out on a character, but at least if you get that character early, guys, that weapon is guaranteed, right? Tencent acquiring major, stake in the thing. I think they're not going to change anything at all. In fact, I just think Tencent is pushing. It's like almost like getting this big investment right behind you as a development team, as a company, right? And I think what's ended up happening is this has gone to manpower, because if you remember, and if you're somebody new, Kuro, when Wuthering Waves was releasing, was a much smaller team than what I've heard it is now. So I think what's ended up happening, guys, is multiple things have happened for Wuthering Waves and Kuro that have led to this moment, which is very exciting for us going forward in the future. The fact that we're going to get major regions every 6 months, the fact that Tencent is basically like this bank account, pretty much. It's like, hey, you want this, we're gonna get our revenue, we're gonna get a return back on this, but if you need that extra that you were worried about that you didn't have, which Wu or Kuro, if in case the company like just didn't have the extra funding or whatever, now they have it, right? The manpower and everything like that. And why I'm talking about this and why it's an exciting time, and this goes back to Narshio's gold thing, right, is that the world finally is all over, whether you're on console, PC, and stuff like that, is starting to take recognition of this game. This game is changing the sort of, it's still a gacha game, guys, right? And I can't say it's changing the predatory nature of it, because it is gacha, but at least it's not as scumbaggy, you know what I mean? At least if you do pull a unit early and you do want to get him to that next level and you want that weapon, the weapon's guaranteed. They reward you so much with pulls and stuff like that. We just covered the dev notes, and this game, man, it's going in such a great direction, and it's really challenging the recent Hoyoverse stuff, you know what I mean? Like a lot of the Hoyoverse stuff right now, aside from ZZZ, which ZZZ, from all I hear, is just a good game. It's just ZZZ's kind of like quiet. They're kind of chilling. It's just like they're doing good, but they're just chilling, you know what I mean? It's like they're not in any major news that's like crazy at all. But it's like they're big games where you got Genshin and HSR, right? In recent times right now, if we compare the gachas, Genshin and HSR are under heavy scrutiny, criticism right now, while WoWa keeps being showered with praise and receiving accolades. And I think this is a great time, because not only do I think future gachas that are big now, gachas that are going to come in and contend with not only WoWa and these other games, they're probably seeing how WoWa operates, and it's like, hey, maybe the Hoyo model, if they want to stick to it, they can, but you can also build a community. You can also build a great fan base, great player base, and be recognized now worldwide by putting out a great product. This was a light video. I just want to share something with you guys, have a talking point, have a discussion with my community. Let me know how you guys have been feeling about Wuthering Waves, whether you're a day one vet, whether you're a new player. I just thought this was something nice to talk about with the community. That's it for this video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I love y'all, and I'll talk to y'all next time. Peace.